anything. What don't got anything. Food you.
My name is Stefanie. I live in North Carolina.
Ready for dinner, buddy?
I'm a social worker and a therapist with SohoMD. I've had pets growing up my whole life, so I can't really picture a life without animals.
Wait. Go ahead. Good boy.
Animals mean unconditional love, support, companionship. I think they have a great deal of ability to help us heal and grow as people. Having Bentley around is awesome. He's loving, cuddly, warm. He's always with me. He's with me when I'm working. He's with me if I'm just cleaning. He follows me around. He definitely can read my emotions sometimes. Dixie was always the wild, hyper one, a lot of energy. She's a little hound mix. Bentley was always much calmer and docile, but he was great with her. She ruled the whole house from day one. My ex-husband and I separated, and I made it very clear from day one that pretty much the only thing I cared about was keeping the dogs together and keeping them with me. I thought it would be very easy, but it got very ugly around our dogs. So unfortunately, because animals are considered property in this state, I was advised against litigation to fight to keep them together. I would have to hope that I got a pet-friendly judge that would side with me as to why I was trying to keep them together and what's in their best interest and everything. And I wanted to do that, and I wanted to try, but because of state laws, she kind of just kept repeating to me they're property, and a judge is just going to look at the fact that there's 2 dogs, and both of you pick one.
Animals are property in the court of law. When it comes to a divorce type of situation in Pennsylvania and many other states, the court can't necessarily order or perhaps even enforce an agreement that splits up custody as if the animal were a child. It's not a part of the law that I particularly like, but nevertheless, it is a part of the law that is currently in effect. When you're talking about a strict property analysis, when you're talking about the paperwork, it doesn't bring into consideration the welfare of that animal in specific.
It's something that's with me almost every day, because I see how different Bentley has been in the last couple of years, so I can only imagine if the same has happened to Dixie. But it's hard to know she's there and she can't be with us. In my opinion, if you think of the nature of animals, especially dogs, there are so many dogs trained to save lives, but when it comes to bettering and maintaining their life, there's nothing we can do for them. And I think that's a huge disservice to animals and to dogs particularly. I think it's insane that you can argue over, it seems like a tool more than you can argue over a dog. I never understood that.
Within the last 5 years, there have been some states that have passed pet custody laws, most notably Alaska, California, and Illinois, that consider not just the property value or the ownership of the animal, but also the best interest of the animal moving forward.
The laws need to change when it comes to divorce. I think best case scenario is animals need to be removed from being part of distributable property. I think it should be very similar to how we would look at children in custody.
The fact that in the last 5 years we're starting to see states consider it and pass these laws is a big step in the right direction. A lot of work still needs to be done.
I'm very thankful that at least it didn't work out 100% the way I would have liked, but I'm very happy and grateful that he's healthy and he's okay.
In the next 10 years, I think we're going to see a lot more understanding of the courts being able to address these issues in a much more effective way than what previous laws have allowed them to do. And I think we're going to see more movement in the legislatures to be able to pass these types of laws that expand the concept of pet custody and what that means. It's not going to be an easy situation. There's a lot of pushback on it, but I think with enough power and enough people contacting the legislatures, I think we're going to see more changes.